Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I am Shandigo. I am a NICU nurse, and I will be presenting to you today the developmental positioning of the neonates, a topic which is not discussed in nursing school, or if so, it's not often emphasized. Disclaimer: the pictures and videos attached are for educational purposes only. No copyright infringement is intended. The author is not affiliated to any company or product used in this presentation, nor intend to use it for promotion. So at the end of this session, you should be able to understand the principles of effective nesting, to describe the benefits of supportive positioning, to illustrate the use of different positioning aids, and to identify the pros and cons of each position. According to World Health Organization, 1 in 10 babies worldwide are born early with major impacts on health and survival. A preterm infant is defined as those who are born before 37 full weeks of pregnancy. As they are born prematurely, their organs are not yet fully developed, like the lungs, the heart, the GI system, and other major organs. They are vulnerable to life-threatening health complications and need special care and attention. These babies are brought to the neonatal intensive care unit for respiratory support, some even requiring vasopressors and training of the GI system. This baby is about 23 to 24 weeks of gestation, or about 6 months, and weighing about 500 grams. So just imagine the size and the weight of the 500 ml bottled water you are drinking. And this baby is approximately 30 to 32 weeks, a feeder grower who has been weaned from oxygen support and just waiting for weight gain. So regardless of the gestational age, babies assume only one position in utero, which is the fetal or flex position, and that is what we are trying to achieve. So why developmental positioning? It is proven that positioning improves postural and musculoskeletal outcome that enhance sensory development, physiologic stability, thermal regulation, behavioral organization, sleep facilitation, and brain development. Early experiences in the NICU can dramatically alter how an infant activates their muscles. So this is where we come as NICU nurses. We help these babies with their range of motion using developmental positioning. Developmental positioning also helps babies breathe comfortably, helps babies gain restful sleep, which is important for brain growth and development, and it reduces stress and helps to conserve energy. It also enables babies to utilize their own self-comfort and regulation abilities, such as bringing their hands to their mouth and face or bringing their feet together. It supports posture and muscle development, which helps prevent development of limb and movement problems. It also improves baby circulation. Care needs to be taken to position babies comfortably to prevent awkward twisting of arms and legs, neck and head, which may obstruct blood flow. So what are we trying to achieve here? So this is a sample of a supervised tummy time. So here, the neck is not twisted. The arms and legs are flexed, as you can see here. And the baby looks very comfortable. So even in side lying or lateral position, you would notice that the babies are very comfortable with the hands and the feet flexed. So what are we trying to avoid? So this is an illustration of the infamous WNM position, and these positions are very common in the NICU if they are not well supported. So these are the so-called W arms, wherein the shoulders are retracted, the hands are away from the face, and these babies may find difficult to bring their hands to the midline for clasping, sucking their fingers, and reaching objects later in life. This is the M position, or the frog legs posture of the legs. So you would notice that the hips are abducted, it is unsupported, and later on babies may find it difficult to crawl, balance, sit, stand, and walk as they grow older. So this baby is sleeping without any boundary at all, so it doesn't provide containment. So just look at how stressed this baby is with hands played, the arms are flying on air. And the second picture shows preferential head turning or neck torticollis caused by nurse doing the cares on one position or one side of the bed. Hence, the baby will tend to face that side. And this last picture shows that the baby looks bigger than the nest. So this nest will not provide any containment at all. So there are three positions that we place the baby in a bed. So we have the prone position, supine position, and lateral position. So you may be asking, how do we achieve a flex position when babies are on prone, supine, or lateral? So the succeeding slides will show you how. So we will be using positioning aids to help us achieve an appropriate and effective position. So similar in utero, we should be allowing the babies to kick, and the boundary should be firm but not rigid. So first, we have the snuggle up or the so-called preform nest. It is according to age and weight, and there is a high and broad bottom part that provide boundaries. The feet should be touching the nest, and there are straps to promote containment. Another type of a positioning aid is the Frederick Frog. Trivia: the name Freddy Frog came from the inventor Frederick T. Frog, who is a NICU nurse who designed this to ensure that the position of the baby is adequate and to provide containment. So this Freddy Frog is made up of bean bags shaped like a frog. It aids in positioning extremities by providing tactile support. It can be placed around the head, the neck, or the hips, and it can be used as a hand to provide comfort. Next is the Prone Plus. So this is made up of memory foam. The hourglass appearance facilitates the natural rounding of the shoulders, the hands-to-mouth coordination, the head and trunk alignment. It also allows the infant's legs to remain tucked with pelvis tilted forward and promotes flexion of the extremities without placing excessive pressure. So this is also weight specific. So we should be able, before taking one from our stockroom, we should be able to measure the baby's head. The head should be from here up to the umbilicus. So these are the different positions that we place the babies on. So first is the supine. So here, the feet are together, pressing against the deep nesting. The hips are flexed, as you can see here. The hands are flexed towards the mouth. The shoulders are rounded forward, as you can see here. And if you have an intubated baby, the ETT is straight and the head is in midline with the body. Some ventilated babies may even need a neck roll to support their airway while in supine position. So babies on Hudson prongs CPAP also need a neck roll. This is the prone position using the Prone Plus positioning aid. So this positioning aid has been measured from the head up to the umbilicus to allow proper positioning. So the groove here, or the ridge of the Prone Plus, will allow the elbows to rest at the base of the bed, allowing the shoulders to come forward, the body at the midline, and the knees flexed. So here, the back is the midline, arms are flexed, the knees are flexed. Same here. Okay. So this is the side lying position or the lateral position. Notice how the rolled sheet within the nest support the posture of the baby. So side lying promotes flexion easily. So the hands are near the face and mouth. The shoulders are rounded forward here. The back is supported with a stable boundary preventing the infant from rolling into supine position. The legs, which is not shown here because of this strap, is in flexion position. the feet are pressing against the boundary of the nest. So when nursing babies in a side-lying position, you need to consider having a rolled sheet behind the back to help support that position and help prevent them from rolling. So after discussing the different positions and the different positioning aids, we will now discuss the pros and cons of the different positions. So first is the prone position. The advantage of prone is that it assists with breathing, it minimizes reflux, the babies settle better on their tummy, they move less, they cry less, and they lose less heat. The disadvantages are it prolonged prone position may cause postural deformities and limit babies' efforts in self-regulation. The advantages of supine are it is necessary for babies on high-frequency oscillatory ventilation and with chest tubes. This is also indicated for babies nearing discharge as part of the SIDS prevention or the sudden infant death syndrome. The disadvantages are heat and energy is lost, there is increased work of breathing, there could be possible reflux, and difficulty to control movements and adopt a flexed posture. Lastly, lateral position or the side-lying position permits flex posturing. It discourages W arm positioning and M or frog leg positioning. It also minimizes reflux, and it is easier to make self-calming movements. So here's a video showing how you would position a baby on supine using the different positional aids. So look at the linen that is kept on the side of the baby to keep the baby from rolling. So we have the high boundaries here to provide containment and to allow the baby to kick, mimicking the position of the baby in the utero, kicking against the sides of the uterus. The knees are flexed, the hips are rounded, the arms are flexed, the shoulders are rounded, and we have the straps to contain the baby but not restrain, allowing the hands to go to the face for self-regulation. And we have here a Freddy Frog that would allow us to position the head or support the head to the midline. So here are our takeaways for this session. So any position may be used. We need to ask ourselves the following questions before positioning a baby. Does the baby look calm, secure, comfortable? Are there strong boundaries in place to support the baby's position? Does the nest fit around the baby? Is the baby in supported flexion? Is the baby in a restful sleep or quietly alert? Is this position supporting the baby's emerging competence? So, do you have any questions on today's session? If so, you may contact me directly using my email, and I would gladly answer your queries. Thank you. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you would be able to apply it in your daily work and make a difference on the life of our neonatal patients. Thank you.